Okay, now I can zoom out a little bit because it's easier that way for the camera to stay focused. Okay, so we got the skull out, and now we continue with the rest of the bird. And while we were doing that, you can see that the water has worked in really well. The bird is quite limp, legs are quite soft, toes are very soft, so we're good to go. Sometimes when I have a few birds to skin, especially the small ones that they might have freeze dried or something, I basically I inject them all, or 4 or 5 or whatever they are, and put them right away in the fridge after they're thawed out, of course. And when I come at them after a few hours, they're quite soft and pliable. So pushing all the breast feathers aside, I'm sure a lot of you guys do the same thing. There's always a piece of skin right on the keel bone that is featherless. More on some birds and very narrow area on some other birds. Waterfowls have a very narrow, comparing to their size, a very narrow area for the keel bone. And if the bird has been frozen under a lot of pressure and or not properly, that skin can move on you and then get frozen. And by the time you thaw out the bird to skin it, it can confuse you if you're looking for that featherless strip of skin, and then you might put your incision right in the middle of feathers, especially on ducks and geese, if the skin has been shifted over. But anyway, on this one, that's not the case. Keep all the feathers to the sides, and right from the beginning of the keel bone, I make an incision right either on the keel bone, which is pretty hard and not necessary, usually on the side of the keel bone, use it as a guide, going all the way to the rectum. Very gentle incision. Try not to cut the meat. Not a big deal if you do, but it's best not to. Especially when you come down to the abdomen area, for sure you don't want to cut through the whole area, because then the abdomen will pour out, which you don't want. Okay, as soon as you have some sort of an incision or opening like that, you can grab the edge of the skin and pull it off, and with your spatula you can peel, peel, peel. It doesn't really need scalpel. Like you see, if you can see, I'm grabbing the edge of the skin and I'm just peeling the body off of it. Just like that. And then I can go in deeper and deeper. This part of the game can proceed a little bit faster than the head, of course, because it's much easier. I don't know if I'm staying focused or not. This annoys me. All right. So keep going with our skinning again. You see that hole in here? I must have pushed my scalpel too much down that created that hole. So you just make sure that you don't mess around that hole too much. In the best case scenario, this shouldn't have happened, but I guess it happens quite often. See, I'm using my tweezers to grab on the abdomen skin to peel it off of the skin. And then when it comes down to the lower end, which is getting close to the rectum, the skin tends to be a little bit trickier to skin out, to peel off. So you just got to go slowly. So as I feel that some parts of the skin are too dry, I spray them with water. So now I'm getting close to the legs, to the thigh and the knee area. So what I also like to do, I keep with fingers, I keep peeling the skin off of the thigh, and I like to push the skin over the knee, just like that. Okay, you expose the knee, and then try to get underneath this area where get under the knee bend. And the best way to do it is using my tweezers, go underneath the knee and expose it from the other side, just like that. And then let my tweezers work and separate the skin from the leg. As soon as I have it in this situation, it's best time to use your little scissors, go right between the joints and cut the joints off. And of course the muscle behind it. Then your drumstick is separated. And then you pull the drumstick back into its skin, and now we have the thigh in here, okay? And then we keep peeling the skin off the thigh toward the back of the bird. Okay, now the other side. Okay, now we got the whole leg inside still. So I grab the drumstick from outside and grab my left hand around the knee, push the knee out just like that. And then use your tweezers to peel off the thigh meat from the skin. And you can see your own finger from the other side. So you basically guide your tweezers underneath the knee area, open up your tweezers like that, twist it around a little bit to totally separate the skin, and then that gives you a proper and safe spot to push your scissors underneath there and cut the joints. Not the bone, just the joint. Just like that. So drumstick is separate. You pull this drumstick back into the skin and then keep peeling the skin toward behind the thighs on both sides. And if you feel that it's too sticky, the feather is sticking to the body, gets in your way, you can sprinkle some borax to avoid that. Now again back into skinning, a little bit with the scalpel, more with the scalpel when you come toward the end of the body here, around the rectum. And then you easily skin around the rectum without damaging the skin. Okay, now I got all the feather quills, tail feather quills inside the skin here. So what I like to do, knowing the shape they're arranged and attached to the body, I make my cut with my scalpel. And also with the help of your tweezers, you can easily detach the rudder bone from the middle of the tail feathers. This is the rudder bone, and then peel the skin back toward the body just like that. So basically this is the back end. This is the rectum, the tail, and the abdomen area and the thighs. So if the bird was a big bird and a lot of gooey juice was pouring out of this rectum area, you can push a cotton in there and stop it. So basically we skin the bird from bottom to top. At least that's how I do it. There's more than one way to do things. So slowly going toward the wings. So the legs are here. This is the end of the body. So we're peeling everything back toward the top part of the bird, which is the wing. Now there are the wing pits, or armpits if you want to call it. Make sure that you peel them off. And you remember what I mentioned to go underneath the knee and twist around your tweezers so it separates the skin from the meat. We'll do the same thing on the shoulder, where the wings are coming out of the body. So basically this is the front, and slowly peel the skin off the top of the breast meat. Here's the crop area and the neck. So we proceed skinning. We get to the wings. Now I do the same thing. I push my finger right from behind the wing and one from in front of. Actually, no, it's much easier than the knee anyway. You can see my finger is passed through that area. So once I'm at this stage, I keep peeling with my thumb. Keep peeling the wings. Basically the humerus bone. Now, the way I like to do it is this, that I like to cut the bone, saw it, and cut it at the right spot to save the shape of my breast muscle so I can carve the body appropriately. So to do that, if you pay attention that the muscle on the breast has a shape that goes right into the wing, goes into the humerus, okay? So this is the muscle on the breast on one side. And there is a point to it right here. It comes right in here and then goes back into the body. Right at this spot where I see that pointy area of the, here, I hope you can see it. Right here, where the muscle, breast muscle stops at the wing. I like to make one incision on the wing like that so I can mark it. Then I use my homemade hand saw, which is a very fine metal blade for jigsaw. Right at that spot, I start cutting the wing. Just like that. And then continue with your scissor to cut the muscles. So this is one side, and I do the same thing on the other side. I hope you guys can see what I'm doing, guys, because I just, as I said, you know, I have my camera above my desk and I cannot really see how well it's focusing. So again, this is the breast muscle goes into the wing bone or the humerus bone, and at the very end, at the very pointy end of it, I make one mark. Then I start cutting the humerus bone. Okay, I got both wings separated and the neck easily will pull out. So this is our body, and the way I like to put it in the freezer is I push the legs back in where they usually are naturally, and the wing bones or the shoulder bones, I push them toward the body. So this is basically the proper muscle shape that I would like to save when I'm skinning my birds, because it gives me the proper anatomy to carve my body. And I hold it like that, or at least put it in the freezer to the best of my ability to stay just like that and not too far splatted out.